Hi everyone, this is Mithun. So today we are going to learn how to push a Java application from GitHub to S3 bucket using Jenkins. So what we are trying to do is from the GitHub repository, that central repository, we are trying to pull the information to Jenkins, and we'll configure the Jenkins here, which information we are trying to push from, and pull the information from. We'll try to get that information, and also we will try to create an S3 bucket, and to the S3 bucket we will push that information, only the information which is the jar or Java application. That's the one we will be updating it. So how we go about is we already have installed Jenkins, and we will log into Jenkins, and from Jenkins we will install Git. Once we install Git, and we will also increase our instance type from T2 micro to T2 medium, so that the process will be a little more faster. And the last session we discussed about how to create an S3 full access role, so that we will update. And once we log into our Jenkins application, we will install two plugins, that is Maven plugin and S3 Publisher in Jenkins, and we will just restart our Jenkins application. So once it is done, we will go to configure system. We will in Amazon S3 we will profile, we will update our new bucket name, that is S3 bucket that we have created, and the authentication method that we are using here will be IAM role. So if we are not updating secret key and access key, once we save that application, we will go ahead and check with the Maven configuration. So we will name it as Maven, and we will use 3.6.1 for the Maven configuration file, and we will go ahead and create a S3 artifact in Maven, and we will, from the GitHub project in source code, we will select Git, and the root will be POM, and in goals and options it will be in Maven, that will be clean install package. So that means it will retain all the APIs and everything. And the add post build, it will be published on S3 bucket, and where exactly we are trying to upload our information. So in the web apps target dot where, so this location we wanted to have the information to be updated, and exclude web app target from any other process. So this is what we are trying to do. So let's go quickly to an EC2 instance now. Let me open my instance page. All right, so my instance page is popping up now. Okay, the first step that we already installed Jenkins in the last session. So we are using Jenkins Tomcat. So right now it is in a running status. So first thing, we will go ahead and try to check our security. I'm sorry, it would be, yeah, in security we will check modify IAM role. So IAM role we will change to S3 full access that we had created for Tomcat. Okay, so that is updated. Let me just go and update that first. Okay, so once that is updated, we have to increase the size of the memory or the instance type from T2 micro. So for that, we have to stop our instance now. Okay, it's almost in the process of stopping. Let me just wait for this instance to stop. Okay, it's still showing stopping. Okay, once it is stopped, we can just click on status, then come down to instance type. Okay, it is not selected, so we just have to select which instance that we have to. So instance settings, and then we will change instance type, and we will come down to T2 medium. That is the one that we will be selected, T2 medium. So there will be a price attached to with using T2 medium, and I need to restart my instance. So let me just quickly start my EC2 machine here. Okay, so it is in the process. So once we connect to our EC2 machine here, the first step that we are trying to do is we will open a Git bash terminal. From Git bash terminal, we will go ahead and install Git. So let me just refresh and see it's still in the pending process. All right, it will take at least a minute. Let's wait for the instance to start. Okay, so we will just click on connect, and then we will copy the SSH link, get back to our EC2 machine. So I'm going to connect to this EC2 machine from here. Yes, and let me just sudo yum install git -y. So it will go ahead and install the Git in our application. This is very much in use when we are trying to use it. The next step is we need to restart our Tomcat service. So sudo -i. So let me just sudo cd space /opt space Tomcat space bin in that startup.sh and enter. So that has been updated. Cd sudo -i ls and enter. So I just want to make sure the Git is installed properly. So I'm just installing once again. Yeah, git yum install git -y. Yeah, so it is the installation is completed, so that we have the package. Now we will quickly get back to our EC2 machine here. We will open our instance. That is the so we copy our public IP address, open a new tab, and port number will be 8080 slash Jenkins. Since we have already installed Jenkins, it will directly ask us to update username and password. So the installation of Jenkins, which we have already discussed in the last session. So right now we are in the Jenkins dashboard. So here in Jenkins dashboard, we need to install. So let's go to plugins, and we will check for available plugins here. In that Maven, there's a one plugin which is needed, and second is S3 Publisher. S3. Okay, we also have the S3 Publisher artifact. So we will go ahead and install. So restart Jenkins is the one that we will check that option, because once the plugin is installed, then we have to restart our Jenkins so that everything will get updated properly. Okay, so it is getting updated. Now let's go back to our page here, ls and enter. Okay, Tomcat is also working fine. Yes, the publisher is getting that is a one, it's in the process of installation. This may take a minute. Sometimes it may take a couple of minutes. Let's wait for the Jenkins to restart. So once it has been updated, you will see that the green check is coming up. All right, so So we are trying to get from the GitHub. We have a central repository, and in Jenkins we are trying to get information too. So when the GitHub is in the process, let me open my Git terminal. So I'm just going down to, okay, let me just open that Git here. So this is my GitHub repository, and I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy this command. It will be required. And in instance, we will go to S3 bucket. S3, okay. We will go ahead and create a new S3 bucket here. All right, so it is in the process of opening the Git. Okay, create a bucket. So I'm going to create a new bucket. So the create new bucket is for affordable web app 2023 is the name. It is an AP South region, and the honest ACL is enabled, and then we will also uncheck all public public access. I acknowledge that information, and we will also see enable. So that is also be done, and we will quickly create a bucket. So the bucket is already getting updated. Okay, so we have, so this name is also very important. We may have this information readily available. Okay, so now let's see what is going on with that uh, process of update. Okay, so it has been completed. Admin. Okay, so let me just see installed plugins, download and process. It's complete and now jobs is running. Available plugins. Let me just check. And installed plugins. Maven plugin is available, and S3 publisher. S3 publisher, you would see that there is a red cross. So there is some issue with that. However, we will just go ahead and try to create. So we will come back to our dashboard, and we will go down to manage Jenkins here. In manage Jenkins, we will come back to tools. We have to do some configuration settings. So here we already installed Maven. Once we install Maven, we have to make sure we give the name. So the name is Maven itself, and the version I'm going to use is 3.6.1. So this is the one I'm going to use, and I will say apply, and then I will go ahead and save. So that has been completed, and let me just go to system and see if there is any configuration settings that we have to update. So let me just scroll a bit down. Okay, so here we come down, we have an S3 profile. Here we need to update our bucket name. So the bucket name is that is a profile name, and use IAM. So this will actually trigger the password. It will give access to the S3 bucket without any issues. So that has also been updated. I'll just say apply, and I will go ahead and save. So our initial setting is ready. Now we will just go ahead and create a job. It's going to be a Maven job. So I will say S3 artifact. So this 01 is a 1. That's the name I'm going to give to this. And I will say OK. So this is going to be a Maven project. because we are trying to update the information. So its source code method is, again, source code management is going to be Git. So here we need to update our Git repository details. So we're going to copy our Git repository information from here, and then we're going to paste our Git repository here. And when I just click on this, it's get validated. And credentials, we don't have to worry about it. We don't use them right now. So okay, it's going to be taken from the branches, that is a master. And scroll a bit down. So I'm going to use after, so uncheck this option, git hook trigger for git SCM polling. So I'm not worried about that. Environment is that also not okay. So if the build is going to be POM, that is program object model .xml, so that is also been updated. And steps, build steps, okay. Add post build action going to be publish that information, so the bucket information is updated. And add file, so this is going to be the information that we have to update. The source code is git pom. Okay, so we missed on goals and options, so no worries, we will update that. That is add web apps, that's a source. And this could be the exclude. And we have to copy and paste the S3 bucket name. So let me just copy the bucket name here. Copy bucket name, that has been updated. Okay, and it is in AP South 1. And so I'm not selecting any no other options here. And let me just POM goal options is okay. Let me just check. Goal options can be clean install package. So I'm going to update that clean install package. Okay, let me just click on apply and save. Okay, and we will just go ahead and try to build. So input. So it's trying to run the Maven job here. Let's see what happens. So source code, it's trying to pull all this information and it shows success. So when we go down to our GitHub repository, we will see that pom.xml file is there in web apps. Your source code will be available. So if the project is working fine, that means we will go here in S3 bucket. You would see that in S3 bucket we have that file web apps, and in that target we have the web app.var file is updated. Okay, so we are successfully able to get the information from GitHub, and through the Jenkins job, we were able to update that information to Amazon S3 bucket. So that was the first project that we are trying to work out. I hope you are able to understand, and if you have any questions, please comment on my YouTube link. I will be able to help you out further. And thanks for watching, and all have a great day. Bye for now.